Hello guys, it's Chester Jade on the Weekly Blaze. So, this is the Thanksgiving Weekly Blaze, finally. Well, I guess not finally, it's only, Monday at 11:30 p.m., so... This week, kind of a random week, but there is some news. I guess first up here I do have Leon Fang sitting there. Going to make the video on that in a few minutes here, and then, unfortunately for me, I did finally pull the trigger on the fourth line video, and, literally like 2 hours after that video went up, the news dropped on the fourth line. Well, lack thereof, of course, because why wouldn't that happen? As far as I'm aware, there is no fourth line. I heard something or other about that there might still be one. It's just that we haven't seen it yet. Although we know the April-May releases, and there's no fourth line releases there. So unless if they're just foregoing those until May, then I don't think there's a fourth line. I already talked about that. It's a massive misstep. Not a good idea on their part. CX is not good enough to carry them for another year as the main line, which clearly, that'll be the case. So it's just not that system. Had things been different, if CX was UX tier, then maybe you could argue, but I just don't see this being a good plan. I heard something about 4 CX releases and 1 UX release in March, which sounds excessive. That's kind of why I'm still going to hold off on giving full judgments, because I'm not really sure if I'm gonna trust these. Yeah, that's a lot. Unless if it's for some reason like a UX set and then 4 CX, releases, or maybe 3 CX bays, 1 UX bay, and the CX Stadium set. I guess it could make sense, but it does seem really weird to me. Also, the fact there's 0 remake bays apparently at all through May, which again just sounds weird. I know we got up to February, so maybe we'll get proper leaks within the next week or so, hopefully. But until now, it's weird. Apparently, April though, it'll be a repeat of this April. UX starter, CX random booster, not ideal. And then beyond that, May is apparently a BX starter, which BX getting a starter release in the year 2026 is horrible. That's the only way I could see a fourth system actually existing, though. Maybe because usually May is a random booster select of the newest system, and then June is a BX booster. Unless that's switched around to we're getting a BX release in June and maybe or in May, then the June releases the new system. But I just don't think there's a new system here at this point, unless these leaks are just straight up false. But yeah, not looking too good so far. The only good thing is that there's no random booster selects. I think random booster selects might actually be done, because February and May now both don't have random booster selects. February, of course, is unfortunately another random booster, which I'm a bit concerned about that actually, because that means December, February, April, horrible stretch, 3 random boosters right there in a few months, and then we'll have the one other one in July, but that does have me concerned that they will put a 5th random booster out in either September or October, which and if they aren't, unless the February one's like a reprint random booster, this is horrible. Like 5 full random boosters a year, that's terrible. So I'm hoping that the random booster select thing isn't, just gonna be kind of I guess we get 1 free month now with May, but that means 2 more random boosters. I really hope not. That's actually a bad trade, but we'll see. For now, though, yeah, no, I guess random booster selects being gone, though, kind of good, but we'll see how that goes. I'm still not convinced on that, but yeah. So I think that's all I have to say for today. Just wanted to start off the week, just talk about that a little bit, because again, I'm not sold on these leaks yet. I don't know if they're real. Going to wait till I see better information that isn't whatever we got here, because it was kind of a mess, so we'll see. Not looking good for the fourth system so far, though. But anyway, yeah, that's all for today, I think. Talking about some other random stuff, like games. I actually have a lot of games to talk about, and then also maybe some anime stuff as well, or maybe a bit more Beyblade, maybe just some other general random stuff. Who knows? But yeah, I'll see. I have my setup ready here to record the Leon Fang video, so I'm going to go and do that now, so I will be back at some point later in the week. Alright, it is now Thursday at about 12:30 a.m., so it is Thanksgiving now, which is fine. I thought we'd talk more about Thanksgiving, but I don't really know what else there is to say about it. It's Thanksgiving. Sure. So I want to talk about some anime and video game stuff today, though. Anime. Last I talked was in my anniversary episode, I believe, so as far as what I watched since then, I did watch Ruri Rocks, which really, really good show, actually. Just a fun, chill show. I like the geology aspect of it. Really, really good. Not a lot to say about it. It's just good. Also, My Hero Academia final season, that, I think I started watching it right around the time it started airing, but that was, again, like, almost 2 into at this point, so we're 8 episodes in, there's only 11 episodes, yeah, this is it. So, we just finished the final arc, so the last 3 episodes are just like the epilogue stuff. And I think the anime actually did make the final arc better by a pretty wide margin. The problem for me is the epilogue, actually, so we'll get to that. But, I mean, we do see some issues in the final arc, like, that will lead to some problems in the epilogue, but still, I think they made it a lot better. I don't think it's as good as people are saying it is. It's still, like, it's good, but, the first 4 episodes were great. I'll give them that. That was, like, peak My Hero Academia, like, Season 2, first half of Season 3 type of stuff right there. With better animation, so it was really, really good, but after that, I think 5 through 8 were, like, good, but again, there's problems. I don't like everything there. It felt almost too quick in a sense. There wasn't a lot of fight. Like, my problem with this is that there really wasn't much fighting. It was just a lot of narrative stuff, not enough fighting, which, is weird coming from me, because usually I'm the opposite, but I feel like in an action shonen, you'd want the final battle to be more action, not as much narrative. I'm not saying there can't be narrative, obviously, like there should be, but it just felt like there wasn't quite enough there. And again, like episodes 5 through 8. Then we had the epilogue stuff, which I'm not looking forward to, but it's happening, so yeah. After that, what else did I watch? Watanabe, good show. I just liked it. It was a fun show. Not much to say about it. Very interesting show. I like the concept. I believe we're getting more episodes soon. It's not a lot. That's like 5 or something. It's weird, but I mean, I'll take more episodes of it. That's cool. And then after that, the last show that I watched, Mayonaka Punch, fun show. Yeah, it's always weird to see like shows centered around social media, because like I've seen both social media rise up and honestly kind of anime rise up. Obviously not as much, because like I mean I don't live in Japan, so by the time I got into it in 2009, it was already like pretty popular there. But here I saw it rise up for sure, because back then, like 2009, like if you asked someone what anime was, a lot of people just didn't know. Some people did, but it was still like that kind of weird niche thing. Whereas nowadays, I think it's actually like popular, like really popular, which is weird. Yeah, I don't know, very, very strange. So I've seen both of these things rise up, so now it's like seeing anime and social media come together, like anime about social media. It's always weird. It was a good show. I liked it, but like, it's just weird. And then the show I'm watching right now, I'm about halfway through, so I'm not going to say too much about it, but Heavenly Delusion. I plan on watching the show when I saw it, and so far it's been interesting. I'm very curious about the plot, because like there's just a lot of weird stuff happening. I'm not totally sold on it yet, but it's interesting enough where I would at least say I like it well enough. But only downside, it's been like 2 years. There's no word on season 2, and this is based on a manga, so it's a bit concerning. But maybe we'll get it at some point. Yeah. Anyway, not as much anime stuff, I feel. A lot of these are like slice of life shows I just don't really have many thoughts on. I feel like slice of life shows, unless it's like really, really good or like really, really bad, I don't say much about. And when I'm talking like really, really good, I'm talking like 10 out of 10, because like even if it's like a 9 or something, it's like, well, it's a slice of life show. So, I mean, I guess I could make a whole video on it, but like this is a weekly play, so I'm not doing all that. So, yeah. Anyway, after that stuff, we have games. So I've actually played a decent bit for games. I think I played like what 4 games since I've talked about anything gaming related. I think because I played. Let's see here. Uh, I played Tori Saturn, which is an indie game. It's a fun game. It feels very well in the name. You'd imagine it's like a Saturn-esque, which is cool. Very much feels like a Sonic game you'd have like a 3D Sonic game on Saturn. Like that's what it reminds me of in a lot of ways, which we unfortunately never got. So like, it's cool. My only complaint is that it's really short. And to be fair, it's only a couple dollars. Yeah, I mean, I think it's like about an hour long to play the whole thing. If you go through and try to do everything, it's like 2 to 3 hours, I think. But it was like an hour. It was fun, and I know I made other games. It'd be really cool if they like just like locked in and made like a bigger game because I feel like as much as I like what I played, I feel like it is harder to get people to be like caring a lot about it's notable enough, right? But if they like maybe just took a step back to like make a longer game, like even like a 4 or 5 hour game, I think this would actually have some serious like widespread potential, like even more so than it already does. So that'd be cool to see. Don't get me wrong, I like the game a lot. It's really good. I just wish it was longer. That's like my only complaint, but there wasn't more of the game, so that's fine. But yeah. What else have I played? All right, next up was Metroid Zero Mission. So yeah, Metroid Zero Mission, great game. It's a remake of Metroid One, really really good. I mean, Metroid One, it's a good game. It just has some certain unfortunate aspects. I mean, it's an NES game first in the series. You don't expect it to be perfect. So with Zero Mission, they kind of took a lot from like 2 and Super Metroid, and then put on more. Of course, taking from Metroid Fusion. I think was Fusion before Zero Mission. I think it was, or no, I think Zero Mission was before Fusion. I mean, but honestly, they used a lot for Fusion after. But I imagine like a lot of stuff for Fusion was already like there. They just used it for like kind of backtrack to Zero Mission, and that came out first. And I don't know, but anyway, it's Metroid One, but with a lot of modern improvements, and of course like a little bit of like an extra 30 to 45 minute extra part to the game, which is cool. But yeah, really really good game. After that, we got Pokemon Legends ZA. ZA was good. ZA was really really good. I think the battle system, I'm a bit conflicted on. I don't know how I feel about it. I think it's good, but I think it could still use some improvements. But it's not entirely turn-based anymore, which is interesting. Part of me likes it, part of me doesn't, because at the same time, like, I kind of wish I could just, like, sit back and play and chill. Like, that's always been a Pokemon thing, but also that gets boring. So I don't know how I'd want that to be balanced, but I wish it could be. Beyond that, though, what else have we got? Let's see, what are the other good things? So yeah, battle systems at least different, that's cool. Mega Evolutions are back. I think the designs overall are like pretty solid. The story is really good, actually. The story, I mean, for a Pokemon game, it's really, really good. Best since Gen 5, for sure. Of course, there's a moment towards the end where I'm like, I had a thought, I'm like, this could happen, but I was like, yeah, it's a Pokemon game. I don't think they'd go like that far, but nope, they did, so that was crazy to see. I will say the character rating has been great for Pokemon. This is not new. It's been good, I would say, since Gen 8. I think Gen 7 was, well, okay, I don't know, Gen 7's weird, because, like, I like Sun and Moon, but Ultra games, yeah, the Ultra games were not as good narratively. But I think since, like, Sword and Shield, say what you about the games, they had good characters, like, at least memorable ones, and then, I think Legends Arceus did decent with that as well. Scarlet Violet for sure, and now I think this is the best game for character writing, hands down. And yeah, I actually remember like all the important characters, remember a lot about them. So yeah, they did a really really good job with the character writing. So yeah, great on that front. My only like big complaints about this game, there's two. One is the ZA Royale. I think that it gets a little bit too tedious at some points because it's like, okay, after like that one big skip, it's like, okay, well, this isn't really spoiled. This is like 2 hours, like 3 or 4 hours in the game. But of course, you skip a lot of letters because if you went from Z to A, literally, it would be 25 times you have to do that. So instead, you only have to do 10, but then there's like a massive, massive cliff of like, oh, there's way more points you have to do now. And yes, you get more points for different things now. So it's not as bad as it looks, but it's definitely more. I wish the ZRL was a bit quicker. I think it's a bit too grindy, but it's like they made this new battle system. Like, yeah, you're going to use this new battle system, and it did feel like they really wanted me to use this new battle system, which I don't entirely like that. I wish it was a bit more freeing, but it's still it's still good. I think it's still good enough. I don't think it's like horrible. But where my problems do come is the infinite ZRL. Because like as is, okay, it's a decent bit of the game. You can get through it like not horrible. Like it's not horrible, but it's a bit too tedious. But the infinite ZRL, so this is actually a good idea because instead of having to go through the game 25 times, well, the Royale 25 times, you only do 10. But to get like the full ending, you have to go through the other 15 times that you should have had to do, but now it's in this infinite ZRL, which I think is actually a smart idea. That way you still go through it for people who wanted to, but it's not an absolute requirement. But I think the infinite ZRL should have been way shorter. That like each one feels like a grind. It should never be more than 10 battles ever. But it can take you like 17. I think I had one that took 18 or so. It was like 18. It was almost 20. I think it took me. It was bad. Should never be more than 10. 10 should be like the minimum. Like with cards, it should be like 5. You could argue that maybe the later parts to get into like rank A could be more than that. But I think when you get to the infinite CRL and you're just doing back to back, constantly, that should be shorter. My other big problem is the Rogue Mega Battles. They're fun. I don't mind them. My problem is that there's 3 of them. Like between each like big part of the game, it's like okay, nice to do 3 more of these. It just breaks the pace of the game too much for me. I don't like that. The battles themselves are fine, but I wish they would have just had one in between because then it's a more natural flow. At that point, it's like okay, you do this. Now you have to go find the Rogue Mega battle. I continue the story. There you go. That's fine. And then you could do the same thing that you did like with the ZRL, where you could have like, oh, everything is resolved, but there's still there's still a few rogue megas roaming around. Go fight them, and that's like the other however many like 10 or so rogue mega battles would be handled. You just go fight them all. You could do them back to back like the infinite ZRL, or you could do take your time. I think that'd be fine. I think this would be more sensible, but also the good part about that, if you did both of them like this, you can go back and forth. You could do the infinite ZRL at night, then day, instead of just constantly having to skip to night. You could just, go handle some of the rogue megas. Okay, done with that, go to the night, do more infinite ZRL stuff. It'd be a better balance, I think it'd just be a better balance in the post game, but also in the main game, I think, it'd be better paced. Beyond that, I do have a couple other smaller issues, one of which being the fact that it's in a city. I wish there was more. I wish you could at least take the train to maybe like another town or two, maybe a couple extra areas, even if it's post game or something. But I don't know. I just don't. I don't know. It's unfortunate. I guess we'll talk about that in a minute on how they could have done this. But I think it's not bad. It's not horrible, but it's a little bit unfortunate. They had a great chance to fix this though and add more to this map. But we'll get to that. I guess for the base game it's okay. And then the other big issue, no voice acting. I mean, the map thing and the voice acting aren't as big as the other 2 issues, but like no voice acting, like come on, it just kind of sucks without it. It'd be so nice if there was voice acting. But the thing is we've seen Mega Dimension, and Mega Dimension is another roguelike. I don't know why Nintendo has been so adamant on roguelikes recently. Like they have really, really gone all in on roguelikes, it feels. We had Side Order had a roguelike. Well, it was the whole mode was a roguelike. Donkey Kong Bonanza got Emerald Rush's DLC. That's a roguelike. Pokemon's getting a Mega Dimension. That's a roguelike DLC. Kirby Air Raiders. what the Road Trip is technically a roguelike, although that one I think actually gets away with it better because it has good variety and it's actually more fun. It's not just a grind fest. It feels like you're actually doing stuff. So that one gets away with it. But Mega Dimension being a roguelike, I don't know. I'll talk more about it after I've played it next month because it comes out on December 10th, which is like really really soon actually. That's I think that's like less than 2 weeks now. Wow. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just not big on that. But instead of doing a roguelike with like the same map, you could have added a few extra places, like I was saying, that would have been a great way to expand the map, but instead, nope. Anyway, and then the last game I played is, oh, by the way, I did like ZA quite a bit, but just a couple issues, but, the last game here is Kirby Air Raiders. So Kirby Air Raiders is, I would say, okay, this is hard because I think Bonanza has to be the best game of the year for me because, like, it has an argument of being the best 3D platformer of all time, I think, at least to me. That's just not something you can really top at all. So, Kirby Air Raiders for me is probably second. I think Road Trip actually is a roguelike that works. And to be fair, it is Sakurai directing the game, so I feel like if anyone can be trusted with making a roguelike well, it'd be Sakurai. Because, yeah, it is good. It is really, really good. Because it's not just a constant barrage of. Because I feel like roguelikes can get way too grinding. That's my worry with Pokemon. That's what Donkey Kong looks like. Side Order is closer to Kirby because Side Order actually like Side Order, right? Whereas like the Donkey Kong thing, I have no interest in that at all. That does not look fun. But Side Order, they just had a few missteps. I think the biggest thing for me was the lack of variety, both in like the types of levels, but also the bosses. You only have three, beyond like the final boss, obviously. But here, you definitely have bosses, but they don't feel as grand. And there are some that are more grand, but there's like five of them, or I think it's five or six. So like, it's a better amount. It's like a fair amount. But also, the levels, there is a ton of variety. So you know what? This is actually fine. I don't mind this. But also, you have air raid mode, and also, yeah, the whole thing isn't just a roguelike. It's just like the story mode technically, so that's fine. I think you could do it within 3 runs. I think everything like because I did three and I'm done. I got the final ending. I think you could maybe do it in two. Actually, I think I screwed up and didn't get enough of the machines the first time. But it could be. It might be three. It might be at least 3 runs. But even so, it's like that's not bad. That's really not bad at all. Beyond that though, air raid mode, it's great. It looks good. I know there's only 18 tracks, which isn't a lot, but with how good each track is, it's very much quality over quantity. Wish Mario Kart could have taken that lesson with, instead of having a bunch of, like a giant open world with a bunch of intermission tracks and only a few good tracks, like actual tracks, which, and those are the good ones. Here, you just have 18. That's all you need. Not all 9 old ones are back. They look better than ever. And then 9 new ones, which all carry the same energy and are great. That's all we need. So, good job there. Aside from that, let's see. Top Ride. Okay, Top Ride, I'm not huge on Top Ride. It's a fine mode, though. I don't have an issue with it. Like, it's just there. It's fine. It's not a mode that I want to just go out and play all the time. It's just an extra mode that's there. I don't mind it. I think it's fine within like Road Trip, though, because it's like just an occasional thing you do. That's fair. It's okay. Obviously, City Trial is City Trial. Like, it's an amazing mode. It's peak. What else do I have to say about it? It's City Trial. Also, the amount of customization in this game is absolutely ridiculous. Like, there is so much to do here for absolutely no reason. Like, you have a whole vehicle customized, like your whole ID. You think you like buy vehicles on an online shop, but it's not real money. And also, you don't get anything from it. So it's just like a for fun thing, which is great. It's not like a real marketplace, which that'd be horrible. So I like how they did it here. You get collectible gummies. They don't do anything, but you can mess with them in like a physics engine for no reason. It's just because they decided that'd be fun, and it is. This, I don't know how to explain Kirby Air Raiders, because, like, even though Bonanza, I feel like, has to be my number one just because of the scale of it, Kirby Air Raiders is, like, a kind of a close second with how much is in here. I feel like Air Raiders feels both like a GameCube game and a Switch 2 game at the same time. I don't know how it's possible, because it very much feels like a modern game, for sure. But it's almost like a weird alternate timeline where video games never lost their soul. We never got like a PS4, Xbox One type of era. We never got like the boring, stripped back, like Switch, like no themes, just like it feels very corporate. And like Nintendo obviously still does make good games, but like I feel like the vibe of Nintendo has definitely felt more corporate. Just look at the Switch's menu versus like the Wii or the Wii U. It's night and day. Yeah, like the interesting stuff, the soul stuff, I feel like it's just been completely removed from games since 8th gen. You could argue maybe 7th gen a little bit, but 8th gen for sure. Nintendo is the only one really keeping that afloat. And I feel like the Switch era, after the first year especially, kind of died off, kind of died out. I didn't know if I wanted to say out or off there, but either one works. And it just feels more corporate now. Not huge on that, but Air Raiders feels like a game that was made if that never happened. Like, companies actually were still having fun making games. It wasn't make a AAA open world game that sucks, but it took 10 years to make. That just didn't happen. Games were still just meant to be fun experiences, not some immersive experience that no one really wants to actually play, but they'll say it's good anyway. It feels like that GameCube, Wii era, even Wii U era kind of thought process of just like a lot of just fun, cool stuff was just maintained until the year 2025 when we get Kirby Raiders. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It just has that GameCube kind of feel to it, but it's clearly a modern game. It's interesting. Again, only Sakurai could do something like this. I wish he would. I wish he could direct like every game. Like he's just so good at it. Like, can we just like lend him to like one Pokemon game, just one, or even a Sonic game? Either one. Like both of those franchises could definitely use someone like that. Although I mean Sonic. I mean, okay, Pokemon has been a bit more interesting. Sonic's also gotten a bit better, but they could both use a boost. I wouldn't mind. But yeah, great game. I think that's all I have for today, though. I'll be back at least one more time this week to talk about a little bit of other stuff. But yeah, for now, it's a pretty decent amount of time today. So yeah, I'll be back eventually. Alright, it is now Saturday at around, I think it's the last or 1:30 a.m. Last clip of the week. Talk a little about Beyblade and also video schedule stuff, because I had to change that a little bit. But yeah, so if I forget anything, cause I feel like maybe there's something else I want to talk about, but I already talked about anime and games, and that was like the main thing. So, I mean, Thanksgiving. I know it's like the Thanksgiving episode, but I don't really talk about that stuff, because like, what is there to talk about, with Thanksgiving? Like, there's just not much to say there. Like, I don't really know what to talk about for modern Thanksgiving, or like, I guess I could talk about the past ones, where it's like, oh, I remember I used to go to like a family member's house, and that was interesting, and that hasn't happened in years, but I don't know. Yeah, like, there's just not much to say. I just kind of title it that because it's an excuse to talk more about random stuff. Anyway, that said, there will be, of course, the December news week next month, so if I do forget anything, then that'll be there. And then that's not too much longer. I think that's like, no, it's not next week. This was, what, to the 29th, so let's see, it's 7th to like the 13th, I think, is the next one. Yeah, it's only another week. Okay, that's not bad, so it'll be like 2 weeks. That's not long. Okay. But yeah, two things I was gonna mention. Bayless stuff, no real news. It's just, yeah, looks like there's no fourth line. I think I talked about that a little bit already. Yeah, it's not ideal. I don't like that, but not much you can do about it. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I really think that's a bad mistake. There are some positives, which I'm actually going to another video on this topic, but there are a couple positives that I'll get to with that video, which I'm probably going to make the first video of December, probably like the second or something, but yeah, anyway. So beyond that, though, not Beyblade, Yeah, video stuff. So this is the last November video, I believe. Yeah, this is going up the 30th. Yeah, I don't know why I blanked on that, because yeah, the one on the 20th, I don't think... Did I want the scope today? I feel like I kind of wanted the scope today for some reason, but I don't think it's a good idea. I'll do the 30th, yeah. Anyway. So... yeah, for video schedule stuff, got up the Bale videos, the, Clock Mirage unboxing of Leon Fang as well, Silver Wolf Emperor Might news discussion, the fourth line video that ended up being slightly too early, and then, yeah, the DB gimmick video. For Bakugan, we did the Weirdest Gimmicks video, Diocivic retrospect. Did the 2 weekly Blazes, this being the last one, the video collecting video for Blaze Talks. And then, yeah, the final 2 Blaze Rages with, Seasons and Nothing, and then also Blaze Reviews Blaze. Yeah, these, I talked about this a little bit last time, but yeah, I wanted to end off the Blaze stuff because the skip videos, like, they just aren't what they were. I feel like they were really, really fun when I was a kid. Well, not even like a kid. Like, I started... So as far as, like, the skit stuff goes, there was Blaze Rages, that was the first one, then Chef Blaze, and then I did a video called Blaze's Halloween. I was going to do more of those, but I never did. That was just kind of a one-off, and there's also Blaze Reviews. So, like, those are like the 4 different types of things. So, I started Blaze Rages when I was 13, 7th grade, so I was in junior high. And then Chef Blaze, I was 15. This is freshman year high school. Actually very nostalgic to that time period, but yeah. It's been really, like, I think next week, actually, yeah, it'll be 10 years since I did the first Chef Blaze, which is horrifying to think about, actually, but yeah, 10 years, that's insane. The Blaze's Halloween video was in October 17th, so yeah, I was 17, junior high school. And then Blaze Reviews, I did, like, one in, this is also kind of initially, like, a one-off, like, the Halloween video, but, I was also still 17, junior high school, just a few months later. But, yeah, I did Blaze Rages and Chef Blaze, like, kind of frequently. Not, like, frequent, but it was, like, often enough through 2019. Blaze Rages being... Actually, the last Blaze Rage video came out on my final day of senior year when I was 18, and then, Chef Blaze went a little bit further, a few months after high school. I was 19 by that point, and then... Again, I never did anything to follow Blaze's Halloween. Blaze Reviews, I tried to make this a bit more common right as I ended high school. Again, I was 18 at the time, and, yeah. So all that stopped, because that didn't get very far. So all that stopped in 2019, alright? Everything was done right around the time I finished high school. Again, Chef Blaze was the furthest, going a few months out, and then, I tried to come back. But I feel like, yeah, things, like, if I had maybe adapted, kind of, I think I mentioned this last time again, but yeah, if I kept going with that stuff, kind of kept, a similar vibe throughout 2019, 2020, I probably would have eventually transformed it more throughout, like, 2021, 2022, and by the time I came back with Chef Blaze in April 23, by the time I'm, 22, I probably would have had a better system, and I think the videos would have been better, so had I done that, probably could have continued, but they didn't. I mean, that just didn't happen, so... Yeah, I mean, I could probably find a better idea for those, but, like... Does it matter? They're unlisted anyway. Like, these are unlisted, but I don't care, because I can just, like, talk about random stuff, that's fine, but... With those, like, yeah, I don't really care, so... They were fun, but... Considering the awkward gap, like, if I wanted to do one, like, I gave myself an avenue to do more if I wanted to, but I figure I'll finish them off, just to give them some kind of ending idea, like, the whole thing about, like, they weren't supposed to come back, basically, it's fine, but yeah, it was, I might do another video for that kind of thing to tie it all together, like, fully, but I don't really know if that's necessary, so, yeah... Yeah, I'll just leave it, probably, but... It was interesting to bring back, I guess. I mean, I did the 2 Chef Blazes 2023, realized it wasn't a good idea, then I just decided to go all in on, like, yeah, let's just have this whole, like, idea of everything ending in 2024 to 2025, and now it's done, so yeah. And then now, anyway, so that's that. I guess for December though, so my schedule's a little bit weird, and I realized this because I did remove a couple things, but I realized that's kind of a problem. So I did somewhat add stuff back, not like entirely, but kinda. So for December, a lot of the stuff is Christmas. So you have the Christmas video as per usual. You have the Celeste Deluxe Edition unboxing, the Free Run Season 1 Limited Edition unboxing, My Hero Academia Season 7 Limited Edition unboxing, Cobalt Strike Red version unboxing, Go Tackle unboxing, Wyvern Hover unboxing, both those are Takutomi, and then of course the Valkyrie Volt unboxing. And I mean, plus the 2 weekly blazes, you know. I actually had the one marked for 14th to the 21st. It's still not that long if I do it, but we'll see. I might move that up a week. I don't know, but beyond that though, there was only actually 4 videos planned aside from the weekly blazes till Christmas, and I'm like, you know what? I think it's like a little bit too like small of an amount. I don't really want there to only be 4 videos till then, so I should probably add in like 1 or 2 more. So I had the 2 Bakugan ideas. One's gonna be a little bit bigger, probably gonna be the last video until Christmas, which will be like the what I call it here. What if Bakugan Armor is continued? Bakugan discussion. Also, of course, probably early in the month we'll have a St. Aquas Bakugan Bakutech Retrospect Episode 7. Beyond that though, the other 2 videos I had planned were Has CX Improved, Beyblade Discussion, and Is UX Still the Best Beyblade X Line, Beyblade Discussion. Probably middle of the month. Now the 2 other videos here, they're kind of tentative, one of which I do plan on doing at the start of the month, which is No Fourth Line Beyblade Discussion. I probably will retitle that one, that's kind of why it's tentative, but yeah, just a follow-up video to talk a little bit more about the reality of that, because I didn't go into a hypothetical of what happens if there isn't one as much, because I really thought there was going to be one. So yeah, that one, that'll be probably early in the month. The other video will probably be the second to last of the month, I think, before the Christmas stuff. Because if we get news, which I don't think we will, but if we get news this video, I'm holding off on probably. But again, tentative title here, but the video concept here is yeah, the Rare Bay Problem, Beyblade Discussion. I'm titling that, I don't want another problem video like that, titled that way, so basically it'll be talking about the overabundance of like BX00 releases, right? So that'll be that. Again, not sure I want to title out. I don't know if I want to do this one. I'm not entirely convinced, but if there's no news, I don't have any other idea for a video, then I'm doing it, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I think that's all for this week, though. Yeah, I just added those couple videos into my schedule, and that will be that. And so yeah, 6 videos until Christmas. For December, that's weird to say. That's actually pretty soon. And then yeah, we'll have the onslaught of Christmas videos after. Every day from the 25th, well, night of the 25th, and then normal schedule 26th to the 31st, and I believe the 29th, I think it is, I'll have actually 2 videos coming out around the same time, which will be Cobalt Drake and, well, I guess we have like a better idea here. The 26th will be the Celeste video, the 27th, probably Free Run, 28th, My Hero Academia, those might be flipped, I'm not sure. But the 29th, we'll have Cobalt Drake and Go Tackle, because they're both from the same set, so I'll probably release those within like a few minutes of each other. And then 30th, Wyvern Hover, 31st, Valkyrie Volt, and the year off on something interesting. So, yeah. Also, I guess the weekly blaze, the Christmas one will probably go up the same day as, like, the second anime video or something. Something like that. Anyway, yeah, I think that's all for today, so... Or, yeah, this whole weekly blaze, so yeah. Next one will be... well, it'll be out either in 2 or 3 weeks. I haven't decided on the week yet. I had it marked for, 3 weeks out, but I might move it up to 2 weeks. Don't know. We'll see. Anyways, yeah. Thanks for watching, and bye.